Hey y'all. It's been a week since I've been on here to talk to you. Last week I had the absolute displeasure of out of the blue just getting sick with some stuff and issues that I had to deal with. So I was not here for a couple of days. I hope that you did not forget my face or what we have been talking about for the month of April, but just in case, my name is Catherine and I am the creator of Yoked, which is a place where women are learning that marriage is not just about quoting scripture, but it's about living scripture even before you get the ring. So for the month of April, we've been talking about travel. I talked about the things that my husband and I learned about each other when we traveled together. We talked about, last week I talked about why it was important to travel by yourself, like what I learned about myself and the different adventures that I went on. And this week the plan was to talk about why it's important to travel as a Christian single and different ways to do that. And I'm still planning that content. It's just a little behind schedule because yay, getting sick out of the blue. So today I wanted to talk to you quickly about 3 reasons why it's important to travel as a single Christian, or, even if you're watching this and you're not a Christian, why it's important to travel as a single person before you get married. I've always loved to travel. I grew up, my dad was in the Navy. My family is like huge military family. So I've always grown up traveling. So when we were in the military life, every 3 years we move. So I've grown up with the travel bug that I've got to go. Like I always have to go somewhere. Even now, if it's just on vacation, I've always got to go somewhere. If I stay in one place for too long, I get a little nuts. So, talking about why it's important to do this, and travel as a single person. The first thing you learn when you travel alone is that you learn how to take care of yourself. One incident in particular, I remember I was traveling for work. It wasn't a fun thing, but I was traveling for work and ended up in a super shady hotel where there was this guy who was actually trying to get into my room. Like, this is terrifying. I get it. And it's probably not going to help the conversation I'm trying to have, but I learned how to defend myself and to be proactive in protecting myself against, the crazy person that was trying to get into my room. Total extreme situation, but it's a true story. Even as 2 years ago, I traveled to California by myself. I was married at the time, and I traveled to go visit friends, but I went by myself. My husband stayed here, and I explored California. I went everywhere. I went to see all of the different sites that I could see. I got to, do all the touristy things and just really spend time by myself and have the confidence that I could travel and actually do things on my own. It's, for me personally, it's an amazing feeling to have a husband and have a partner who wants to do all of these things for me and with me, but it's still really important that I know how to do things for myself and that I am able to take care of myself. And that's something that you can totally learn when you start traveling as a single person. The second reason why it's important to travel as a single Christian is that you get to learn who you are, and you also learn through that who you want to be with. I had a conversation with a friend here in Memphis, and we were joking because she and I had both gone on missions trips, and she made the point, and I didn't realize it at the time, but she made the point that she would go on the missions trips, and she would always seem to get into an argument with the people that she was on the trip with. And I was like, me too. Like, what is that? And we realized that because we're both introverts, we have to have time to go back and, kind of reconnect and recharge. And that when we were on the missions trips, because everybody's always together, they're always doing things together, we didn't have that time to reconnect, which made us very cranky and very irritable and pretty mean. I didn't know that about myself, and I learned that over the years that in order for me to function, I actually have to, acknowledge those introvert tendencies that I do have and make sure that I take the time to recharge. And it was very important for me to learn that about myself, because as I dated my husband and, we eventually got married, that was something that he needed to know about me, was that, I can be very outgoing when I have to be, but that it's important that I take the time to recharge. And because he knew that about me, he was able to give me the space to be the best self that I could be and be the healthiest woman that I could be. So that even now, we've been married for like 6.5 years. And if he wants to go out and do something and I don't, he's totally okay with it. He'll go out with his friend or, go do stuff by himself, because he knows that I need to be at home and just kind of recharge and reset. And it really makes for a very safe space in our marriage. But that's something that I probably wouldn't have learned about myself if I hadn't gone on, solo adventures by myself. And the third thing, the reason why it's important to travel as a single Christian, once you get married, it's not guaranteed that you're going to be able to keep up the same lifestyle. I got very lucky that my husband loves to travel with me, so it's not that big a deal. But because we've both been so busy with, our marriage, work, church, school, like we were both in grad school at the same time, life happens and you're not always going to have these opportunities to be able to travel. And one of the saddest things to me is not having the opportunity to experience all that you can experience while you have the chance to do it. I've seen people who get married, young, or get married after having not so many life experiences, and then they're in a marriage where they're starting to have regrets. And that can bring a lot of contentment into your marriage. So take the opportunity while you're single to go out and travel and do all of these things and learn about yourself. As you can tell, my voice is still kind of out, so I'm not going to stay on here long. But make sure, if you want to read more about this, I wrote a blog post about it. It's got a lot more details. It sounds a lot better than what's coming out of my mouth right now. But head over to the blog, and I'll put the link in the comments below to learn about the 3 reasons why you should travel as a single Christian. Thanks for listening, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.